If you're expecting for a curated, perfect video, this isn't it. My baby is sleeping, so I have a couple minutes to talk about postpartum and the raw, unedited version of postpartum. The first 6 weeks were really tough for me. Emotionally, it was a lot. And I was not expecting it. I had no idea that I would feel that way, but especially when your milk is coming in, if you're breastfeeding, I was just a roller coaster of emotions. I would cry for any little thing. I was getting in the shower and taking that time to cry in the shower. And on top of that, I was extremely anxious. And I was such a worrywart. The first 6 weeks. I don't know, I'm not that kind of person. I'm actually very positive and uplifting, and I kind of ignore negative things, but in this moment it was like I just had so much worry for my baby. For whatever reason, I would Google every little thing. I would check her breathing multiple times at night, so I wasn't really sleeping well either, obviously. I have intrusive thoughts. And so just constantly feeling like I was gonna drop my baby, or that I was gonna not put my baby right in the mama-roo or the car seat, and that she was gonna fall. I don't know, just so many crazy things that would cross my mind. And the only thing that helped me get rid of it was to pray. And to constantly replace these negative thoughts with positive thoughts and prayer, until finally the thoughts just kept diminishing until they finally went away. And now I finally feel confident enough to hold my baby and just be normal. And just, I don't know, it's during those 6 weeks, it's like a dark cloud just kind of like hanging out. I think it's because it's such a new experience, and at the same time, if you haven't been around babies like I haven't, I just felt so much pressure. I was like nervous to even change her clothes. I was like, oh my gosh, what if I hurt her or something? I don't know if anyone else has experienced that, but that's what I was experiencing, and made me a little bit nervous. But thank God, you know, with prayer and lots of help from family members, my mom and my grandma especially, my husband of course, I was able to just breathe and take it day by day. Let's talk about body, I don't want to say body dysmorphia, but just body image. Man, I gotta say, I think I was overly confident when it came to that. I thought I was just going to bounce back immediately, and I know because of my age and the fact that I worked out before, during, and after pregnancy, I did bounce back in comparison to other people, but I guess I expected it to be a lot quicker. I would say the first 2 months, it was so frustrating getting ready to go out, obviously having the pressure of like being with a baby and being nervous that she's gonna cry in public, and not knowing like if I'm gonna be able to soothe her, or being scared that I'm gonna forget like enough diapers or enough wipes or all the things, right? On top of all of that, it was so crazy and nerve-wracking to go out because nothing would fit me. And like I used to like be ready in like seconds. I'd just grab something, wear it looked good, get out the door. And the constant having to change, it just wasn't something I was used to. So I was like getting really frustrated with myself because nothing would fit the way that I wanted to, and it was just so disheartening. I don't want to stress myself out. I definitely haven't even weighed myself since my like doctor's appointment. I'm not going to worry about any of that. And honestly, that did help until I just kept constantly going to the gym. I was eating better. Little by little, baby girl started sleeping better, so I started to feel a lot better. It's just so many things, because I think mentally, because I wasn't sleeping good and like getting a full night's rest, that affects like your mental health 100%. And so that just was it was tough. Like, I know in movies you see it, like, oh, they have a newborn and the baby's waking up and the parents are waking up with the baby. It's different when you're the one experiencing it. And it's so funny because, like, my husband and I would stay up to watch shows. When I was pregnant, we were like, okay, we're gonna binge this show because then when we have the baby we won't have time to. And so we were hanging out binging a show. I don't remember ever feeling that tired than when you have a newborn and you're going to sleep really late. Like, it's just different. It's just super different. Man, we were running like with a chicken without a head, you know what I mean? Like, we were just, I don't know. I think you can read as many books as possible, watch as many videos as possible, and still not be prepared. Confession number 4 would be kind of unsure of who I am. I think because I had a baby fairly young. In the beginning, I was very confused on how I should act, how I should be, how I should dress, especially because my clothes wasn't fitting right. So I was like, maybe I need to dress older and more serious. And when I would go out, people would stare at me with my baby in the carrier. And I remember a few times I was walking at Target and I would just get so many stares. So I was wondering, I'm like, are they looking at my baby because she's so cute? Or are they looking at me because I think I'm like a teenage mom or something? Like, I promise I'm not a teenager. But so with things like that, I was like, man, I don't know. Part of me just didn't feel like myself. I don't know how to explain it, but it just felt like I wasn't myself. I couldn't physically do the things that I wanted to do. I couldn't independently, just if I had to go to the bathroom, just go to the bathroom. I had to always had to think about baby girl. And so it was definitely like a shift that happens in those 3 months where you're just taking it day by day, learning and adapting and understanding that this is going to be a major shift. And it's nothing negative. It's just life and understanding the process of it and knowing, like, I'm saying these things because I had no idea that this is how I was gonna experience it. Like, one thing is having an idea in your mind, and then the other thing is actually going through it and realizing, like, oh, this is how it feels. Yeah. Even the little things. Confession number 5 is like mom brain. I tell you that even though I'm 3 months in and my baby is only waking up like once or twice a night, so I'm getting longer stretches of sleep, I'm still forgetting things. I had about an hour to go to the gym and I was rushing back, ready to go upstairs to feed my baby and just see if she was okay, and completely just ignored the fact that my car was on. And I mean, I've forgotten a diaper in my car and it stunk up my car. Very stinky. Don't do that. First time mom problems, you know. Confession number 7. There she is. She's waking up. I would say confession number 7 is not knowing how happy and how healing and how satisfying it is to have a baby and see her grow and see her milestones, and how amazing it feels as a mom to learn your baby more, be more effective with things, understanding what she needs when she needs it. Because before I was like, I'm so sorry, I'm very confused on how to help you, I don't know what to do. Because I would do these things and maybe I read her wrong and she didn't really want to eat, she was sleepy, or she wasn't sleepy, she was hungry, all of these things. Now I'm understanding her, and it's like I just feel like every day is an achievement. She's growing up so fast, and it's only been 3 months and she's already very alert and just super aware, and it definitely is the greatest gift from God. There's some people that are young, they're in middle school, high school, and they already know for a fact they want to be a mom, and that's all they want to do, and they just want to have babies, and that's that kind of person. But I wasn't really that kind of person. I was very unsure of wanting to be a mom, or even knowing if I would be a good mom. And so I kind of had to do a lot of healing within myself to be like, I do want to have a baby. And now that she's here, it's something very unexplainable. And every day my husband and I look at each other like we can't believe we have a baby. It's like a miracle. And so that's my main confession. My main confession is that I couldn't have ever imagined that this is how it would feel like to have a baby. And after everything that I just mentioned, of it being a challenge, it is all worth it. And trust me, it'll go by so quick. I remember in 6 weeks, I was like, oh my gosh, like when am I ever going to be able to just feel confident enough to leave the house with my baby? Or when am I ever going to be able to have a routine or get anything done around the house? I just felt like I was being so unproductive. And now 3 months in, baby girl's adapting, I'm adapting, we work together and we make it work, you know, and the hard work that it requires, but the satisfaction that you get. Those are my confessions. I am going to clean up the kitchen a little bit before she wakes up. I actually thought she was waking up, but it was just like some active sleeping. That's another thing that you guys, if you're pregnant or going to through postpartum, that I didn't know was a thing, and I was waking up my baby. I would see her move and I'm like, oh my gosh, she's up, and I'd go pick her up, and really it was just active sleeping. Sometimes she even opens her eyes. I'm like, oh, she's awake, and she would go back to sleep. So just really make sure that your baby's awake, because it's happened to me where I pick her up and then she's crying because I woke her up and she really wasn't awake. Let's end this video because I gotta go do things.